Saber with OpTv Global Headlines. Starting with the top international stories for the day. A symbol of the Kashmiri freedom movement and former chairman of All Parties Hurriyat Conference, Syed Ali Shah Gilani, passed away in the Indian-occupied Kashmir city of Srinagar. The 92-year-old veteran Kashmiri leader had been under house arrest for the past 11 years and had been ill for several months. With Kabul's airport inoperable, private efforts to help Afghans fearful of Taliban appraisals focused on arranging safe passage across the landlocked nation's borders with Iran, Pakistan, and Central Asian states. Thousands of Afghans seen at borders crossings with Pakistan and Iran, while crowds gather at banks in capital Kabul as humanitarian crisis looms. The Taliban have paraded some of the military hardware they captured during their takeover of Afghanistan as a team from Qatar landed at the trashed airport in Kabul. The Qatar Airways flight brought a team of technical experts to work on the airport. Qatar has urged the Taliban to ensure safe passage for people still wanting to leave Afghanistan after the deadly and chaotic US-led evacuations came to an end. US officials have said Kabul airport is in a bad condition with much of its basic infrastructure degraded or destroyed. US defense chiefs say they felt pain and anger and would humbly study the lessons of the Afghan war after leaving the country under control of the Taliban, whom they fought for 20 years. Joint Chiefs Chair General Mark Milley said there are many tactical, operational, and strategic lessons to be learned. Taliban said that they have surrounded the only remaining province resisting their rule, Panjshir fighters. They called on the rebels to negotiate a settlement with them. Russian President Vladimir Putin said Wednesday that the United States' 20-year campaign in Afghanistan ended in only tragedies and losses. Mr. Putin said that the US Army tried to ingrain their norms in war-ravaged Afghanistan for 2 decades, which he characterized as a futile exercise. The foreign ministers of the United Kingdom and Italy are likely to pay visits to Pakistan after the withdrawal of foreign troops in Afghanistan. Diplomatic sources said that the UK foreign minister will arrive in Pakistan on September 3rd, while he will hold meetings with his counterpart and other leaders. A Russia-brokered ceasefire agreement has been reached between the negotiating committee in Dara al-Balad neighborhood in southwestern Syria and Assad regime. Light weapons were collected from 34 people identified by the regime. A 12-year-old British-Pakistani boy, Benjamin Ahmed, has made around £300,000 during school holidays after creating a series of digital pictures of weird whales and selling tokens of ownership stored on the blockchain. Benjamin Ahmed told in an interview that he was excited to become the youngest programmer of the world. Pakistan has been removed from Bahrain's travel red list, adding that easing restrictions will be implemented from September 3rd. Bahrain has also removed India, Panama, and the Dominican Republic from its travel red list. U.S. states of Louisiana and Mississippi have taken stock of the disaster inflicted by powerful Hurricane Ida. 4 deaths have been confirmed as crews began fanning out in boats and off-road vehicles to search communities cut off by the giant storm. States of emergency have been declared in New York City, New York State, and New Jersey due to the storms. Up next, we have the national updates. The Pakistan Air Force delivered a JF-17 fighter jet to Nigerian Air Force. Pakistan aims to send the first of 3 JF-17 fighter jets to Nigeria in the first quarter of 2021. This is the most recent advancement in the Pakistan Air Force's participation in Nigeria's modernization program. Day of mourning is being observed across the country on the directives of Prime Minister Imran Khan after veteran Kashmiri Hurriyat leader Syed Ali Gilani passed away. Funeral prayers in the absentia for Gilani will be offered in all district headquarters of the Azad Kashmir. Indian authorities imposed a security clampdown in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir after the death of Hurriyat icon Syed Ali Gilani at the age of 92. Thousands of security forces were immediately deployed and mobile internet services were cut across the area. Troops put up barbed wire and barricades on roads leading to Syed Ali Gilani's house in the main city of Srinagar. The Chairman Joint Chiefs of Staff Committee, General Nadeem Raza, attended the debriefing session of the war game Shamshir-e-Bahar 8 at the Pakistan Naval Ship Base Johor. Shamshir-e-Bahar 8 was aimed at tri-services, operational drills and maneuvers against traditional and non-traditional threats, with emphasis on improving synergy and jointness in operations at sea. Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi and his Canadian counterpart has discussed possibilities of providing humanitarian support to Afghanistan via video call. Mr. Qureshi so called upon the Canadian government to ease visa rules for Pakistani nationals, in particular students. In another event, addressing a joint press conference with his Dutch counterpart in Islamabad, Mr. Qureshi emphasized the importance of stabilizing the security situation in Afghanistan, preserving the peace. Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz Vice President Maryam Nawaz has accused the incumbent government of starting pre-poll rigging for the 2023 general elections. While criticizing the government for resorting to censorship, she also welcomed the Pakistan television's coverage of leader of the opposition, Shehbaz Sharif. The National Accountability Bureau's Lahore division has approved launching an Assets Beyond Means inquiry against PMLN leader Rana Sanaullah. Sanaullah acquired ₹90 million worth of assets beyond means, says NAB. Pakistan People's Party MNA Syed Khurshid Ahmed Shah has been shifted to jail from NICVT Sakt. The Sindh High Court has expressed its resentment over the prolonged stay of Khurshid Shah in the NICVT and remarked that the Home Department has unnecessarily declared the health facility as a sub-jail. The University of Karachi has launched on-campus custom-built electric shuttle service to facilitate university students. NTS Logistics has provided 6 to 23-seaters roofless commuting vans, while the number of vehicles would increase with the passage of time according to the demand. Up next, we have the health updates. Pfizer has started dosing in a mid to late stage trial of its oral antiviral therapy for COVID-19 in a non-hospitalized symptomatic adult patients. The company and its rivals have been racing to develop the first antiviral pill to be taken on early signs of the illness. Pakistan has reported 89 new coronavirus deaths during the last 24 hours, raising the total death tally to 25,978 nationwide. According to the latest figures provided by the National Command and Operations Center, 4,103 cases came back positive, and the positivity ratio was recorded at 6.65% in the country as of today. Up next, we have the updates on science and technology. Weather disasters driven by climate change have increased fivefold over the past 50 years, killing more than 2 million people. The World Meteorological Organization's study shows economic losses are mounting as exposure increases, costing $3.64 trillion in total losses. Up next, we have the sports updates. Chief of Army Staff General Qamar Javed Bajwa on Wednesday met with national sportsmen who represented Pakistan at the Tokyo Olympics 2020. All national athletes thanked COAS for his recognition of their efforts. The Taliban have allowed Afghanistan's cricket team to play first test match since their takeover. The Afghan team will face off Australia in the test match in Hobart from November 27th to December 1st. Badminton's Paralympics game is hailed as a dream come true by players 29 years after it became an Olympic sport. Now 90 players will battle for medals in 14 events over 5 days at Tokyo's Yoyogi National Stadium. Up next, we have the entertainment updates. Pakistani actor and host Aisha Sana has been summoned to the court under the allegations of cybercrime. Lahore court issued a non-bailable arrest warrant against Aisha after a plaintiff named Yusuf Beg accused her of defaming his family online. Pakistani actors Zara Noor Abbas and Wahaj Ali will be seen together in an upcoming web series written by Umaira Ahmed. The ensemble cast also includes Hina Bayat, Javed Sheikh, Yasra Rizvi, Dure Fishan, and the series is being directed and produced by Hasib Hassan. US actor and former professional wrestler Dwayne Johnson has confirmed the sequel of his latest film Jungle Cruise. The Rock wrote on Instagram, "Thank you guys around the world for turning Jungle Cruise into a franchise. Thank you to our Disney partners and filmmakers for your trust." A businessman bounced more than 10 miles on an inflatable ball to set a Guinness World Record and raise money for charities. The strain of 17-hour bouncing session was putting on David Kay's body. Up next, we have the business updates. A $65 billion investment plan aimed at connecting Western China to Gwadar. Pakistan's southern port is set by China. Pakistan's Army Chief General Bajwa expressed pleasure with the pace of development on the CPEC projects, saying that after the successful completion of the first phase. The exchange rate of US dollar strengthened by 48 paisa in the interbank against Pakistani rupee. The greenback closed at rupees 166.87 on third business day of the week. Pakistan has earned $503.910 million by offering various transport services in different nations during the first 10 months of the fiscal year of 2020 to 2021. This is a 24.46% decline compared to $667.040 million in services for the same fiscal year of 2019 to 2020.